All right, students, today you're going to be making an origami dragon eye that really blinks so you can make it blink. Isn't that awesome? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I hope that you enjoy this as much as I do today. All right, so for this project, you're going to need a piece of origami paper. You're going to need some markers of your choice. And of course, you're going to need your imagination. All right, let's get started on our project. So the first thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to flip this paper over so that we're looking at the white side. So flip that pancake right over and get ready for your next step. Next, we're going to take our paper and we're going to turn it so it's a diamond. So we've got a diamond here. And you're ready now for your next step. So please look at your paper. Is it turned? And is it on the right side? Just like mine up on the screen. All right, for your next step, we're gonna do the mountain fold. We're gonna take this bottom corner and touch the top corner. That's gonna create a crease going horizontally along our paper. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick this up, lift it up, and you know, origami is a good bit like rocket science. You want to make sure you get those creases as closely accurate as possible. What I do is once I have lined this up so that the corners are just right, I take one hand to hold it down and one hand to do the actual folding. So we want these to be nice and sharp. I always like to say that origami is a lot like rocket science. If you don't get some of the folds right, especially near the beginning, you may not have a successful project at the end. So being focused and persevering and doing the best you can is so important, not just in origami, but in life too. So all I did, just as a review, is I took the bottom corner, I lifted it up, lined it up with the top corner, and then creased it down. Can you guess why it's called the mountain fold? Because it looks like a mountain. All right, take a look at mine. It should look like yours. Hey, okay, our next step, we're gonna open it back up and we're gonna do a sideways mountain fold now. So that means I'm gonna take my left corner and I'm going to lift it up, line it up with this right corner, and make a crease that will go vertically this time along my paper. So pick it up, line it up with the other side, hold it down, and then crease it down. Quick review, we're going to now open it up just to show you. When I open it up, you'll notice that we have a plus sign now in the middle of our diamonds and creases. So all I did on that last step was I took the left side, lined it up with the right side, and then creased it down. All right, here is our next step. You're going to open it back up. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this corner, the top corner, and this corner, the bottom corner, and we're going to line it up so that those corners touch the middle of our plus sign and creases. So I'm just going to lift this one up here like this, line it up as best you can, keep that nice and straight. You can tell it's a straight fold because the crease should be in line with the crease on the white side as with the orange. Take that top corner, fold it down so it touches that middle of the plus sign too, so it looks just like this. Quick review, all I did was I took that top and bottom corner and I lined them up the points with the middle. Yours should look something like mine. All right, for our next step, what we're going to do is we're going to take this side here, we're gonna fold it down so that this edge becomes even with the crease in the middle. So we're really just folding this top portion here in half going down. So I'm gonna lift it up, fold it over, and crease it down just like this. So now you can see that top edge is now in line with that horizontal crease in the white. All I did was take this top part here and fold it in half. Go ahead and do yours now. All right, our next step is we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. So I'm gonna take this bottom edge here, fold it up so it becomes even with this crease right here. Go ahead and fold that in half now. All right, take a look. Yours should look like mine now. Kind of reminds me of those old-fashioned finger traps where you could put your fingers in on both sides and then they get trapped and you couldn't pull them out. All right, so sometimes we do folds that will help us with future folds. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go ahead and open this all back up again. You will see many creases in the white once you do that. You'll probably see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 creases going from top to bottom. What we're gonna do next for our next step is we're gonna take this top point here and we're gonna fold it down so it meets up with the second crease in the paper. So I'm just gonna take this point here, fold it down so it touches the bottom of that, or the middle of that crease. Well, I hope you like that one because we're going to do the same thing down below. So again, I'm just going to take this point at the bottom and line it up with the second crease from the bottom. So just go ahead and fold that down. Or up in that case. All right, so what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and do the next step, which we're going to be doing again, another fold. So we're gonna take this top edge here and we're gonna fold it down to this next edge right down here, this next crease. So pick it up and fold it down. And then we're gonna do the same thing over here. We're gonna pick it up and fold it up. So it's just the same movement except we're folding it up or down one more time. If you missed it, here it is again. All right, take a look. Yours should look something like mine. All right, for this next part of the assignment, I like to go ahead and break out my coloring choices that I want to use. It could be colored pencils, it could be markers, it could be whatever coloring materials you enjoy. If you want to use a pencil to kind of sketch things out first, you're welcome to. But our eye for our dragon is going to be in this area here. And when we do our eyes, we're just going to do the iris and the pupil. So the iris is going to be the colored part of your eye, and then the pupil is the window into your eye. That's the black circle, and that allows how much light goes into and out of your eye. It protects it from the sun, so when you're outside, the pupil, the black circle, will be smaller to let less light in so it doesn't damage your eyes. And when you're in a dark room, your pupils get bigger to allow more light in to help you see better, keep you safe. All right, so I like to make my circle like this, so it fits in that space really nicely. Then, that's going to be for the iris, the house for the pupil. That's where the pupil lives. I'm gonna go ahead and put my pupil in there. But you know, you can have lots of fun in making these eyes look like anime eyes, or maybe there's going to be sparkles in my eyes. So I might put some little white areas in there too. Different little white circles would be fine. If I want to have a dark outer ring that's one color, I could definitely do that. So maybe I would have maybe a purple here, like so, and then maybe I might have, go ahead and get that up there too. And then maybe I could have some red lines going in. If you're great with colored pencils or crayons, you could do some blendings in there. That would be nice. I'm gonna do some blue in here. All right, for our next step, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be adding some patterns that will be for the scales of our dragon. And you could really do any kind of a pattern for this, but I like to do one that has this kind of a scalloped edge. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my marker, and I'm just gonna make all these little cursive like U's, one stacked on top of each other, on top of the eye, and on the bottom of the eye too. Now, because we are doing marker on the colored side of the origami paper, you need to give it about a minute or so to dry because it will smear otherwise. Next, you're gonna go ahead and flip it over, and you're gonna do patterns on this side too. And I like to basically do the same thing that I did before on that side. So this time though, I'm gonna do the little upside down U's for the top half. And then for the bottom half, I like to do what I did before with those little U's. You could also use colored pencils or even crayons. I have some construction paper crayons here, and I could go and I could blend in and have a few scales that might be a slightly different color if you have time to do that. You could even add with the markers a couple of scales that might be a little different if you want to add some variation. But that's only if you want to and if you have time. All right, so for our next step, we are going to go ahead and take this top portion here, and we are going to fold it down over our eye. Take this right here and fold it down over the eye. So we're just folding the bottom part up, and we're taking this bottom top portion here and folding it down too. So those two will meet right in the middle. and you should have 2 diamonds, one on each side of the paper again. So one more time, quick review here. I just take the top and bottom edges and fold them over to the middle. All right, for our next step, we're gonna take this and we're gonna flip it over. So I just flipped mine over left to right. Just flip that pancake right over. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the left side here, and I know you can't see it very well, but I can see my crease lines here. And I see that there's a crease in the orange paper from before right here. There's like a plus sign. I'm gonna take this left edge and fold it over so it touches the middle point, just the middle of that plus sign. Look at that, I still wind up with a diamond again. All I did was take that left edge and fold it over to the middle. Then crease it down. I hope you like that step because we're going to do it again on the other side. Pick up that right side, fold it over so that the point meets in the middle. We want both of our little diamonds to touch there right in the middle. You know, our diamonds are also squares. They're just tilted sideways. Another name for that is also known as a rhombus. All right, so this might be the toughest step that we're going to be doing. So right now, go ahead and check and make sure that yours looks like mine. You have not turned your paper, so the rectangle should be short and wide. It should not be tall and vertical. All right, so for our next step, I am going to be doing a crease. I'm going to lay my pencil across it so you can see where this crease is going to be. There's a crease mark here, and then there's the point right here. And what I'm going to do is I am actually just going to fold all of this part down. So it's an angled fold, kind of like a paper airplane fold. I'm just going to fold it down so that the point on the crease will go here at the crease there. And also this crease that goes across the middle all the way to the right-hand side. I get both of those points in there for my triangle here. So I hope you've gone ahead and done that. Take a look at mine, see if it looks like yours. I hope you enjoyed doing that one because we're gonna do it again. We're gonna go on the other side now and do the same thing where we're gonna have a crease that goes where my finger is all the way down to here. Go ahead and pick that up and fold that part so it lines up with both of those creases. Go ahead and do this now. All right, go ahead and look at mine, compare, hopefully they're the same. Now, I hope you enjoyed doing these top folds because we're gonna do it again on the bottom. So what I like to do is open these back up and then do the same thing at the bottom. I'm just lifting these up and I'm making sure that I incorporate that triangle so it goes to both those creases. just like so, like this. If you haven't done it, go ahead and do it. All right, take a look. Does yours look like mine now? And then we're gonna do it on the other side. You got it, if you've already guessed that. All right, yours should look like mine. All right, are you ready for some magic? I am ready for some magic. Let me tell you, I am going to bring all of these creases that we just folded, and I'm going to pinch them in my finger and thumb areas on both hands. And I'm going to flip it over to the other side, and I'm still gonna grab those creases, so you can see here, I've grabbed those creases. And now what I do is when I bring these together by holding on to them, it makes it look like there's a blinking eye there. Oh my gosh, yes, yes. Now I can see that. Whoa, that looks so cool. All right, if you're having a hard time grabbing those corners, you might want to do a slight modification where you might want to just fold the very corners out. That might make it a little easier to grab. So I'm just sort of creasing those like that. And sometimes that helps a little bit, but usually you can do it just fine without maybe bending those little corners outward a little bit. So see how I just made a little pinch there? Make it a little easier for me to grab. All right, I hope you enjoyed making this awesome blinking dragon eye. Oh my gosh, yeah. So I can't wait until our next learning adventure. So remember, keep making great art.